Hello. On today's episode of the Comics Panel, we're going to be talking about Justice League of America. And boom tubes.
And boom tubes. Why
tubes.
not?
Okay. Let me just explain what a boom tube is.
Because it's stuck in your brain.
Because it's stuck in my brain. I had to explain it to somebody else. In the new Justice League movie, obviously we're getting some parademons and things like this from Apocalypse. I don't know. They're coming for the new Justice League movie, so this is what the big bad is going to be, and this is why the heroes have to unite. And the way that they travel, the new gods travel, is through it's called a boom tube, and they have a mother box. And the mother box is kind of like a really cool computer, and it can do all kinds of things. And one of its main functions is they call it summoning a boom tube, and this is basically a very large tube that is like a teleporter to some degree. One end of the tube is wherever you're coming from, and the other end of the tube is where you want to be. So if you're on Apocalypse and you want to get to Earth, you open up a boom tube. And they call them boom tubes is because when they appear, it goes boom, and it's this big, vibrating, loud noise, and it's like you always know something's coming because all of a sudden there's this big boom.
So let me get this straight. It's a giant tube.
It's a giant tube.
That goes boom.
That goes boom. And you better watch out for what's coming out of the boom tube because you never know.
You just never know. So yes, we're discussing the new Justice League movie that will be coming out shortly.
And they had a boom tube.
And they had a boom tube
in it. And Andy was so excited to talk about boom tubes.
Boom tubes, mother boxes, and parademons.
And parademons. And we're going to get to see some of the characters that were pseudo-introduced in Batman vs. Superman, Aquaman,
Flash,
Wonder Woman,
and Cyborg.
Along with Batman.
Well,
it's going to be the main force behind the Justice League, which is going to do battle with, apparently, Steppenwolf. Will be the apocalyptic agent sent by Darkseid to conquer the Earth or whatever their plan.
Soften it up anyway.
Whatever their plan is. So he'll be the guy that comes through. We did see a little bit of him. I assume it's him. That's what they said it was going to be. Didn't look like he did in the comics, so who knows. But
and at one point when they're mentioning and doing all the cinematic beauty of it, one of them says, or I think it might even be a Darkseid saying it. They don't really say. It's showing bits of the movie in someone's voice. Very,
ominous.
Ominous. Good word. I was looking for it then.
I don't know if it. Ominous.
And at one point he says, and you and I probably got, since we're Lantern fans, probably got a little bit excited because he said this world has no protectors, no lanterns,
yes,
Kryptonians.
I was hoping they would see a Green Lantern
we
appear.
all know that Superman met his doom with Doomsday and Batman versus Superman, and we haven't seen the lanterns yet. Apparently there's a core movie due out, but we'll just have to hold out and hope for the best. But they mention lanterns and they mention Superman, and of course, we're waiting to see what happens. We got Alfred cracking jokes about the Penguin, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Hello. We will return to the show momentarily. You may not recognize my face, but you would recognize my name. I am a comic book writer, and I am here to ask you to subscribe to the Comics Panel's YouTube channel. This will ensure that you shan't miss a single episode. Who knows? I may even tell you my name. Go on, click the subscribe button. I'll wait. Thank you. Now, back to the show.
It looks pretty good. It really does.
Looks amazing.
Yeah. And we also got to see a slight glimpse of who else might show up in the movie. We don't know, though.
We don't know. It's possible.
It's going to happen.
The speculation is Superman.
The speculation is definitely Superman.
How can I have the Justice League without a Superman?
It pretty much has to be.
He used the H word. Alfred said hope.
Yeah, that's true. And who was it that was floating in the air
That's right.
with a tinge of red? Who could that be?
Speaking of red, the Flash is amazing in this.
Yeah.
I was really, after being a big fan of the TV show, I was really disappointed that they didn't let Grant do the
I know,
the
I was too.
But in seeing the trailers, I think this guy's going to do all right.
I agree.
Yeah.
His costume in the latest trailer, the headpiece looks fine, but his other part looks kind of cheesy. It looks like they just gave him like
Pieced together.
pieced together. I like the full costume better.
The
But
slick costume.
Yeah, I wanted to see Grant as a part. I thought they should have given it to him, but I agree with Steve. I think this new guy is going to be able to pull it off, and he's going to have some good comic relief as well in the movie. So I'm excited to see his character and Aquaman in the movie as well.
Can't wait for Aquaman.
Well, I mean, pretty much in the comics, Aquaman doesn't have much of a sense of humor. Batman obviously does not.
No.
Most stuff just kind of either flies over Superman's head, and he doesn't want to make you feel bad, so he doesn't chuckle along with the joke, and kind of pretty much the same with Wonder Woman. So if you're going to get comic relief, it almost has to come from the Flash.
Aquaman seems to be kind of a bad dude in this, like, streetwise and whatever, and that's fine. Whatever. It seems, I get the impression just in the little things, and maybe it's just me, I don't know, probably it's just me, usually is. Aquaman seems to be like an outcast right now. Like he's not, he goes into, there's parts throughout Aquaman's history where he's cast out from Atlantis.
Yes.
And it seems like,
and the surface world too.
Yes, and it seems like maybe this might be one of those parts, but I can't think of the actor's name, but he brings a new aspect to it, and I remember seeing something a while back when he was doing an interview, and he said, "You know what? You're going to find out just what a badass Aquaman is," and because people think he just talks to fish and wears green tights, and he actually is as strong as Superman.
Oh yeah.
He needs to be kick-ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
He's always been a good character, so it'll be nice to see him do something good with it.
And eventually he's going to have his own movie, and so is Flash. It's all going to be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. Can't wait.
So little bits and pieces coming out, little bit, until we get here to the Justice League movie. And we're all looking forward to that.
Absolutely. I am.
All right. So,
Boom
tubes.
Boom tubes.
By the way, at Comic-Con, they had a surprise visit by the whole cast of the DC movie.
Really?
Of Justice League that made an appearance there at their booth.
Wow.
They came up there and they had I remember seeing a clip of that on somewhere on demand. They were talking about the Comic-Con. Well, it was a surprise visit to the fans.
Yeah, okay.
It was a surprise, all right.
But they showed everybody
you guys are all
starting
here.
stuff.
Imagine that.
We should all show up at a Comic-Con and just say, "Hey, look, here we are."
Here we are.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe someday. Okay, and that about wraps that up.
There you go.
Maybe take that part out. Leave your comments in the space below.
And like us on Facebook.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Thanks a lot.